our being children are, nobody is, see, prostitution is an exploitative business, exploitative work. Nobody will voluntarily coming and voluntarily indulge into prostitution. That is not at all possible. It is very, very less. See, for a purchaser, for a client, it is very difficult to enter in the vicious circle. And how can a child under 18 can enter into this vicious circle?
Absolutely. Ma'am, also I want to quote, a 1949 UN convention which actually labels trafficking and prostitution as incompatible with the dignity and worth of human beings.
You're right, Sanjay. If it's going to be something which is thrust upon anyone, it is definitely against it brings down the human dignity. I do not say person should be volunteering to do this job, but if under certain circumstances a person is going to say yes to this, there are a number of college girls, women who are also employed in very good, so-called good positions, who also for various purposes indulge in such activities for their pocket money or for various other reasons. It is not for us to sit in moral judgment about all these things. Let's talk about this in a dispassionate manner. If you're going to look at it in a dispassionate manner, I would not be promoting prostitution per se, but if in case it's going to be there, how are you going to have it? And if, as you really know, it's not possible to do away with it. Time and again, we have been told it is a trade which is there since times immemorial. So what are you going to do about it? When you can't do away with it, at least regulate it. Regulate it in a fashion in which everyone gets their share without exploiting the victim woman. That's what I'm trying to do.
Completely running out of time. We have final comment from you.
So without exploitation, prostitution is not at all possible.
Okay.
See, if you are legalizing, the women will be commercialized. Are you able to imagine before 15 years 1 liter of mineral water can be purchased? No, basic water is our basic right. Just like that, yes. Women are being commercialized.
Yeah, and there can be no argument that the dignity of women must be upheld, that exploitation of women must end, yes. Whether you legalize it or not. This debate will rage on. But thank you very much, ma'am, Mrs. Sudha Rambalingam, after a hectic day at court, for joining us. Always a pleasure to have somebody like you who represents dignity and credibility on our show. It's an honor to have you, ma'am. Thank you very much, Mr. Debjar. We appreciate the work you're doing in the field as well. And before we slide into a break, I want to remind you of that song, that tender voice of George Michael when he sang Roxanne. Roxanne, you don't have to sell your body to the streets tonight. Now, that person who played Roxanne in that particular video was Francisca, a well-known model. But what about our modern-day Franciscas in our cities who are trapped between the moral and the immoral, perhaps just for their survival? Do give that some thought. But Evelyn Matthew will be right back after a very short break with more news on this special power-packed 1-hour bulletin. Don't touch that remote.